People aren't still watching the news, are they? Are you watching the news? You don't really believe that stuff, do you? You do know who controls the media, right? I'm just going to give you a little breakdown on the history. After the printing press was created, the media quickly became controlled by dominant institutions. Guess who that was? The religious institutions, especially the Catholic Church, the monarchies, the kings, the governments. And they used it by approving what could be printed, censoring opposing ideas, and framing truth through doctrine. So in other words, the media at that time was the authority reinforcement. As newspapers exploded, control shifted from religion to wealthy owners. Media became a business. Sensationalism emerged. Owners influenced public opinion and even war sentiment. The media then equaled profit and influence. In the 20th century, radio and TV created something new: mass psychological reach all at once. Who controlled it? Large corporations and government-regulated networks like NBC, CBS, and ABC. The key dynamic was there were very few voices reaching millions of people. And this is where terms like manufacturing consent came in. The media became centralized narrative control. And then came the internet. At first, it looked like freedom. The promise was that anybody can publish and there are no gatekeepers. But the reality evolved over time. Power shifted to platforms like Google, Meta, TikTok. And now we have new control mechanisms, algorithms, what gets seen and what gets buried, moderation policies, monetization incentives. So the media now equals algorithm control. It's invisible and it's not obvious. Media shapes reality across all eras. The mechanism of it stays the same. The selection, what gets shown versus what is ignored. Framing, how the story is told. Repetition, what gets repeated becomes the truth. And emotional triggering, fear, outrage, identity equals engagement. So no matter the era, the pattern never changes. Those with the distribution power shape the perception. Those who shape the perception influence the behavior. Behavior shapes society and history. Today is unique because you are not just a consumer, but you are also a broadcaster. But visibility is still controlled, narratives still compete, and influence is still concentrated, even though it might be less obvious. The core strategy of the media is total narrative control. And this began with the Nazi regime. The Nazis understood something very clearly. If you control what people see, hear, and repeat, you influence what they believe is real. So they didn't just use the media, they eliminated competing voices and replaced them with one unified message. They produced cheap radios called people receivers, in German, Volksempfang. They encouraged and even pressured citizens to listen to official broadcasts. The purpose was to deliver speeches, messaging, and ideology directly into homes, to create a sense of unity and inevitability. The radio made propaganda constant and unavoidable. What they did was emotional conditioning. They produced highly polished films like Triumph of the Will. They used powerful visuals, music, and symbolism. They portrayed Hitler as heroic and almost divine. They tried to create emotional awe, pride, and loyalty. Film made ideology feel inspiring and unquestionable. They also controlled the narrative through newspapers. They shut down or took over independent newspapers and promoted party-controlled papers like Discernment. They spread anti-certain people propaganda and state messaging. They normalized extreme ideology through repetition. Print made propaganda seem like everyday news. Does that sound familiar? They filled public spaces with bold and emotional imagery. They used simple slogans and striking visuals. The purpose was to reinforce messages constantly in daily life, to target identity, fear, and belonging. You couldn't even walk down the street without seeing the message. They also used censorship to eliminate alternative reality. By banning books, art, and opposing viewpoints, they punished dissent, sometimes very severely. They controlled education and cultural institutions. This ensured that there was no competing narrative. The techniques that they used are still relevant today. Repetition. If you say something enough, it feels true. Emotional manipulation, fear, pride, anger, and identity. Scapegoating. Blame a whole group for societal problems. Simplification. Reduce complex issues into slogans. Unity messaging. Everyone believes this. You should too. And the outcome then was public opinion became aligned with the regime. Many people accepted or supported extreme policies. Dissent became rare, dangerous, or invisible. Nazi Germany is one of the clearest historical examples of this principle. Media doesn't just reflect reality, it can construct it. If you made it this far in this video, congratulations, you are awakening. In my next video, I'll take it one step further and give you a checklist that you can use while scrolling to spot manipulation instantly and stay grounded in your own perception.